Hi, I'm back. Before we get started with the video, just a short aside. Sorry I disappeared for like a year. A lot of stuff happened in my life. Not a real big deal, but we're back now and I'm making some changes. Recommendation Wednesday will no longer be on my Instagram in text form. It will be in video form on both my Instagram and my YouTube. I'll also be making more discussion-based shorts to get you guys more involved. And I now have the capability to make much better videos. Expect much more from me in the future. I am so excited to enter this new area of creation. Hi, so just a heads up, I don't know why the audio sounds like this. If it sounds like I'm in the cave that I'm displayed in, I don't know why. I'm still figuring this out. Hopefully next episode's better. Hello, thieves, assassins, and rogues of ambiguous gender. And have you ever had a character that's your absolute favorite from a series or franchise? And you take a closer look at that character and you think to yourself, dear God, this shit is just sad. Well, hi, that's me. With every character. I'm going to be going over some of my favorite characters of all time, explaining why they're tragic and why I find them so compelling. So let's get into it. Well, let's start with an easy one. My favorite Robin is Jason Todd. And if you know anything about Jason, you know that post-Crisis on Infinite Earths, this kid's life is a tragedy front to back to front again. From the beginning of his life, his dad is abusive and a Two-Face henchman. And then dies. And then his mom also dies of a drug overdose. So he's just kinda on the street. He tries to steal the wheels off the Batmobile for money. That goes well and poorly at the same time, because he gets caught by Batman and then becomes the second Robin. From there, he had a pretty solid run in Detective Comics, and then Batman the Caped Crusader happened. Welcome to Character Assassination Junction. Population Jason. Jason, over the course of this series, is mishandled and misrepresented as easily flying off the handle and reckless because the author fucking hated him. Hated Robin in general. For example, in the comic The Diplomat's Son, Jason maybe pushed a guy named Felipe off a balcony. The reason I say that is, to this day, that is not confirmed whether or not he did that. Also, Felipe is an irredeemable asshole, and if you've read it, you know why. This leads up to the infamous Death in the Family, where a bunch of weird shit happens that I will summarize because there's a lot. So basically, Batman punishes Jason and benched him based on a maybe, because we, again, never actually see what happened to Felipe. Jason finds out that the person he thought was his bio mom was actually his stepmom, and that his bio mom might still be alive. Joker then breaks out of Arkham and buys a fucking nuclear warhead. So, Batman goes and handles that. Meanwhile, Jason steals the Robin suit and heads out on his own to find his mom. Batman and Jason meet back up and help track down the right woman. The first two are busts. The third's name is Sheila Haywood, an environmentalist and Jason's bio mom. Batman leaves them both there to reconnect. Problem with that, his mom is in league with the Joker, who is currently very nearby. His own mother sells him out to the Joker, who then beats him nearly to death with a crowbar. Joker then realizes that might have been a bad idea, ties up Sheila, and sets a bomb for 10 minutes. Jason, goddamn hero that he is, picks his broken body up off the floor, unties his mom, and tells her to run. Problem with that, though, The building is locked from the outside. Well, shit. Batman shows up about 2 minutes too late, and Sheila lives long enough to let Batman know that Jason died a hero and that the Joker did it. And then she dies. There's more that happens in this book, but I'm skipping it because it's not directly related and it's just really weird. Why is Joker the Iranian ambassador? I'm also skipping Hush because that's just kind of complicated. During Infinite Crisis, professional whiner Superboy Prime punches the universe really hard and shatters a timeline. This is what brings Jason back from the dead, and he has to dig himself out of his own grave. This leads to Under the Red Hood, where he's been awake for a couple years, during which he got picked up by the League of Assassins, trained more, and took a spa day in the Lazarus Pit. He returns to Gotham and attempts to control crime from the top. Batman obviously doesn't like this very much, and they end up in a confrontation where the Joker is tied up and Jason and Bruce are talking to each other. Jason says,
"Bruce, I forgive you for not saving me. But why? Why on God's earth is he still alive?"
Jason then offers him a gun, and he says, "You can either shoot him or shoot me." Batman obviously says no. He offers to blow all three of them up, and Batman takes down Jason. Over the series, they've grown closer together again, but Jesus. Jason, to me, is one of the best characters to show someone coming back from just horrific beginnings and really making something of yourself. Now, obviously I'm missing some, but either go watch Under the Red Hood or read the original comics. I'm gonna be so real. There's so much Spider-Man that I'm not gonna cover too much. I'm just gonna go over the most tragic events in this poor guy's life because motherfucker cannot catch a single break. Gwen Stacy dies while he's trying to save her, Uncle Ben, the entirety of One More Day because it doesn't seem like he has a brain for the majority of the comic, Constantly Broke, the Spider-Man 3 dance scene, and then the whole Registration Acts thing because in the comics never trust Tony Stark. So, Penny, one of the most blatantly transcoded characters I've ever seen, and victim of, in my opinion, a little too much criticism. The primary criticism being one that I actually kind of agree with, and that is she should not have gotten off that easy for literal crimes. But I want you to think about this. Team Star, the primary evil team in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, is created by Penny, and is basically just a bunch of teenagers who banded together because they were being bullied. Think about this. How bad must the bullying have been that making an evil team was the best option? Think on that. Oops, this one's a little scary. Sophie has just been through so much. Her family systematically disappeared over the course of 1974, with her younger siblings Ed and Molly getting introduced to Drunk Driving 101. Jack, her father, disappears off the face of the earth a month later, and her mom Rosemary gets lured backstage and gets ripped apart by Bond. Immediately following these incidents in the timeline, well, the next thing we know is that she gets put on pills that, quote, keep her safe by giving her memory loss.
Safety of pills. Sophie. Safety of...
Yay! We catch up with her in episode 3, Bunny Farm, where her girlfriend Jenny shows her a new game that is installed in the hotel they're currently at. Over the course of the episode, she gets shown the brutal murders of everyone we've heard about dying so far, with the exception of Jack. This breaks the seal on her memory, and she starts remembering things. A lot of things. Too many things. So she's currently in the process of remembering her entire childhood after witnessing many brutal killings. At least she's got Jenny. They're adorable. Now, why do I and others like these tragic characters? Well, simply put, not only do I find their stories more interesting than if a character was just all good all the time, it also taps into an innate need for comfort. Those of you well versed in fan fiction like I am are well aware that her comfort is one of the most popular tags, and part of the reason for that is that we as people often experience terrible things ourselves, and we need comfort from those around us to eventually feel better about the situation experienced. But no one wants to actually go through those terrible things all the time, and for those of us that have, you don't want more. But you still want to feel that love, warmth, and affection being given to someone after they've just experienced the worst thing ever. In conclusion, probably a coping mechanism, I don't know. Have a great day, rogues, and tip your server.